23. Isra. Red floods my vision. The smell of rot and metal and bitter herbs sweeps into my nose. My skin crawls as sharps, mean as needles, press at me through my clothes. I squeeze my eyes shut and scream as I cower closer to the ground. "Let her go!" Jem shouts. I hear a whistling sound and a muffled thud as something soft but heavy falls onto the ground. Before I can turn and see what's happened, the roses are moving, their thorns piercing through my clothes, making me howl like a trapped animal. "No!" I beg. "They'll kill me! Don't touch them!" "I have to get you out," Jem says, sounding so fearful and desperate that I know he cares for me. Now I have to prove I care for him as much. "You have to go," I say, panting against the urge to be sick. The pain is too much, coming from everywhere all at once. Your tribe, they're in trouble. How do you... I saw it, in a vision. A vision? He lets out a shaking breath. From the roses. Were there... Please, Jem, half your tribe will die if you don't go. I grit my teeth, refusing to whimper, to do anything to make Jem feel compelled to stay with me. "Needle prepared a pack for you this afternoon. It's waiting by the king's gate. Take it and go, now!" "I won't leave you," Jem says, voice breaking. "I can't." "You have to," I say, and then add silently, "But you can come back. Oh, please, come back. Oh, please, oh, please." If he comes back, if he cares enough to come back, maybe we can find a way to end this, to escape from the dark heart and make a better life for both our peoples. The thorns press deeper, and I can feel a soft cry of pain escaping my lips. "Isra, they're killing you!" His hand finds mine, and I can't turn my head to see him, but I know he has risked his life to reach out for me. I cling to him, selfishly needing to touch him one last time. "They're not killing me. They're keeping me here. They know my thoughts. They know I wanted to go with you." I close my eyes, memorizing the feel of his fingers threading through mine. "They'll release me once you're gone." "You don't know that." "I do," I lie, knowing that Jem will refuse to leave unless I properly convince him. "They need a willing sacrifice, a suicide. They can't murder me," I say, hoping it will be enough to make Jem go before he's caught. "How did you get out of your cell?" "I broke the lock on the door, after I..." His breath shudders out, and his grip on my fingers gets tighter. "I saw you coming to the garden, and I tried to call your name, but I felt something, a terrible magic." He has no idea how terrible, and I can't tell him, not now. "There's no time." I release his hand, pushing him away. "Go! Run! Hurry!" I hear a rustle in the leaves, and when he speaks again, he sounds farther away. "I'll come back as soon as I can," he says. "If you're not alive, I'll burn this city to the ground, starting with this garden." The blossoms closest to my face rotate on their stalks, moving out of my line of sight as they turn to Jem. I lift my head, meeting Jem's worried eyes through a jumble of leaves and thorns. I want to tell him how beautiful he is to me. I want to tell him everything I've held back. I want to share everything that's happened since he left the tower last night, because only after sharing it with Jem will it seem real. I want to tell him that too, but instead I say, "Please go." He has to go. There's no time. I'll watch for you on the wall walk, every night. Set a fire by the gathering stones. I'll come as soon as I can. "You're bleeding," he says, throat working. I can see it, even in the moody blue light of my least favorite moon. "Don't forget me," I whisper. "Please, don't forget." I'll come back, he says, if I have to drag my body across the desert. I swear it, on my life. I nod, squeezing my eyes closed to keep the tears at bay. By the time I open them, he's gone. Let me go, I whisper to the roses after several long moments have passed. They've gone as still as any plant now, but I know they're listening. You've gotten what you wanted. The dark heart clearly wanted Jem to leave the city. There's no other explanation for why it showed me the suffering of the Monstrous out in the desert. It wanted Jem, and the risk he poses to the continuation of the covenant, removed from Yuan. But he'll come back to me. I know it. I haven't lost yet, not if I gain my freedom tonight. Let me go. I try to straighten my legs, but the ancient vines lie heavy and motionless across my thighs. Let me go! I won't be held like... What have you done to yourself? The voice is soft, shocked, and so unlike Beau's that I don't guess who it belongs to until I look up to see him standing where Jem stood a few moments ago. Who were you talking to? Beau asks again, in the same numb way that makes me more nervous than his angry voice ever has. No one. Myself. I lick my lips, taste my tears, and shiver despite the fact that the night is the warmest we've had since autumn. Why is Beau here? How much has he seen? The Monstrous is out of his cell, Isra, Beau says. Do you know anything about that? Yes. I stutter, my heart beating faster. I needed him to take care of a few things in our garden. He's going there now, I say, hoping to buy Jem more time to reach the king's gate by sending Beau in the opposite direction. He's trustworthy. He'll be back in his rooms within the hour. There's no need to... There's every need, Beau snaps, anger creeping into his tone. There's every need to do... something. He shakes his head, his expression bleeding from the anger to confusion to utter bafflement. What are you doing here? Why have you hurt yourself? I didn't do it deliberately. I tripped and fell, I say, lifting my chin. And it seems to me you should be more interested in helping your queen than interrogating her. I can't tell Beau that the roses attacked me, or he'll think that I'm more rattled than he already does. But I don't have to endure being treated like a fool. Now, help me out. Use your sword. Cut the vines if you have to. Beau's lips part, and a horrified look creeps into my eyes. You want me to desecrate the royal garden? Are you mad? He laughs, a single bah, so loud that it makes me wince. Of course you're mad. Of course you are. And to think I felt for you, he says, gravel in his voice. Even today, I thought my father and the other advisors were being unfair, but he's right. You've lost your mind. No, I haven't. My forehead wrinkles, but it doesn't hurt. At least the roses didn't attack my face. Your father supported every measure we discussed today. He sent the amendment concerning the Banished to my rooms a few hours ago. It was exactly... He's lying to you, humoring you until tomorrow morning, Beau spits. He and the other advisors are going to force you to marry me and give Yuan a ruler who's not out of his head. They say the law allows them to compel your marriage, whether you consent to the union or not. My stomach clenches. But I'm still in mourning. It's against our... Sometimes big changes are necessary to protect the city, he says, mocking his father's kind words from this afternoon perfectly, setting fire to the last tattered shreds of my hope. I tried to convince him to wait, Beau continues, swiping the back of his hand across his mouth. I wanted you to choose to marry me, but clearly you aren't capable of making wise choices. You don't decide what I'm capable of. I'm the queen. My word is law. I sound like a child having a tantrum, but how can I help it? What other option has Beau or anyone else in this city given me? When they treat me like a small girl, or an invalid, or a mad woman. I'm not mad, I say, fighting tears. This city is mad. All of you. You and your father and the advisors and all the rest. Jem is 3 times the person any of you will ever be. Bo sighs, but when his gaze meets mine, he doesn't seem angry. He's gone numb again, numb with a hint of pity. He pities me. He's so sure of the legitimacy of his hate that he can't consider for a moment that the desert people might not be human like us, or that I might be the only one in Yuan not out of my mind. But maybe that isn't possible. Maybe the mind of the majority is always the healthy mind, simply by virtue of its numbers. Maybe it's the definition of madness to believe I'm right and everyone else is wrong, to find my thoughts rational and reasonable when almost the entire world finds them damaged and flawed. The thought makes me want to cry all over again, cry and beg Bo to listen to me, and to try to understand. Despite his cruelty last night, Bo isn't as terrible as his father. He cares for me, or cared, at least a little. He has a gentle side too. Bo, please, I whisper. I'm not crazy. I swear I'm not. Did you mean to hurt yourself tonight? He asked, ignoring my protests. Of course not. You're bleeding, he says, as if breaking a scary bit of news to a child. Those wounds are deep. You'll have scars. Why did you do this? I didn't do anything. They pulled me in. They were trying to kill me, I say, regretting the words the moment they pass my lips. Who was trying to kill you? The roses, I mumble, digging my nails into the dirt, wishing I had fingers big enough to uproot the roses with my bare hands. I don't expect you to believe me, but it's the truth. They aren't what they seem. Bo glances down at the vines, now lying limp and lifeless, across my legs. No one but Jem knows what the roses can do, and now no one else ever will. The roses won't help me prove I'm not insane. My allegedly weak mind stands to gain them a king and a captive queen, and continuation of life as the dark heart that caused them to grow prefers it. For a split second, I consider telling Bo about the dark heart and the wicked magic supporting life under the domes, but before I can think of a way to break the news to him that won't sound mad, 2 breathless soldiers appear behind him. The Monstrous has been spotted at the wall, sir. The short guard with the crooked teeth huffs, running towards the king's gate. Go, take 10 men waiting by the... No, I shout. Please, let him go. If you let him go, I won't fight any of it. I'll marry you tomorrow morning. I begin tugging the thorns from my flesh, refusing to wince as the stickers pull free. Just let Jem go. Take 10 men waiting by the tower. Bo continues as if I haven't spoken. Tell them to kill the beast on sight. No! I stagger to the edge of the rosebed. You can't. I forbid it, as your queen. But the soldiers refuse to look at me, let alone listen. Bring his body to the dungeon, Bo shouts as the men rush away through the orchard, the scuff of their boots transforming into a shush as they hit the grass beneath the trees. Run, Jem! They're coming! I scream, even as I hope he's too far away to hear me. Run! I scramble off the edge of the bed wall, moaning as I hit the ground, and every place where the thorns tore my muscles cries out once again. Bo takes my arm with a tenderness that startles me. I glance up to see sympathy in his rich, brown eyes. It's for the best, he says. When he's dead, the unnatural feelings will fade. I'm sure of it. They aren't unnatural. I'm too exhausted to scream the words. It wouldn't make a difference anyway. Bo doesn't think he's ordered a murder. He thinks he's asked for an animal to be put down. Raging at him for the wicked things he's done is pointless until he understands how wrong he is. Jem is like us, Bo, I say, pleading with him to understand. He feels and thinks and hopes and dreams. He loves his family and is devoted to his tribe. He's no different, not in the way that counts. Let's get you back to your tower, Bo says, ignoring me. Again. He starts back towards the tower, cradling my elbow as if I'm made of glass. I'll have the healers sent to attend you. I dig my heels in. I'm not going, I say, jaw tightening as I stare through the trees in the direction where Jem disappeared. I can't see him or the soldiers any longer, but I swear I can feel him. He's still in the city. Not until I know Jem's safe. Bo heaves a tragic sigh, but he doesn't try to force me to keep walking. He stands beside me, as silent as I am, though I'm certain he's not straining as hard for a sign that the soldier's mission has failed. It could have been good, he finally whispers. You and I. I don't say a word, though I agree with him, in a way. We could have had a very different relationship if Jem hadn't come into my life. If not for Jem, I might have mistaken faint stirrings and budding friendship for something more. I might have thought love could grow between Bo and me. I would have agreed to marry him, and would be looking forward to however many years we'd have together before I made the ultimate sacrifice for my city. Sacrifice. I don't have to do it, I whisper, my reprieve finally seeming real now that I'm free of the roses. I will never lie down in that wretched bed and slit my own throat. The realization makes my breath come faster. My ribs shake with something too hysterical to be laughter. I don't have to do it. I'm afraid you won't have a choice, Bo says, watching me from the corner of his eye, clearly seeing my relief as another sign of madness. Father says the law allows the advisors to compel you to marry. My ribs grow still, even as my heart beats faster behind them. Junji will kill me if I refuse to go to the roses. I know he will. As soon as Bo and I are married, and the city begins to fail, he'll slip a poison into my food, or slit my throat while I sleep. Then, once I'm dead, Bo will remarry, and that poor girl will pay the price for my refusal to honor the covenant. She will be a bride in the morning and a dead woman by nightfall, and the wicked thing at the city's core will never be stopped. I can't let that happen. I have to find some proof of what I felt in the garden tonight. I have to convince my advisors and my people that the power sustaining our city is evil. But how? I mumble, biting my lip. I don't know, Bo says, continuing to labor under the illusion that I'm speaking to him. I suppose one of the advisors will say your vows and the sacred words for you if you refuse to say them yourself. So refusing to speak won't be enough. What if I... Take me back to the tower, I say, gripping Bo's arm. I want to see Needle. But my arms and legs hurt. Needle will tend to them, I say, not bothering to explain myself any further. A woman has a right to change her mind, and a mad woman even more so. There's nothing I can do for Jem here and now, but I can rid myself of Bo and move quickly while the guards are distracted. I'll send for the healers as soon as you're safe in your rooms, Bo says as he leads me through the orchard. I start to tell him no, that Needle is the only attendant I need, but I think better of it. I don't want to make him suspicious, and his mission to fetch the healers will keep him busy while I throw together what I need for my journey. Our journey. I'll go with Jem. Tonight. I'll leave the city and not come back until... Never. I'll never come back. If I'm not here, no one can force me to marry. And if I never marry, then the curse ends with me. But where does that leave your people, Needle? All of the innocent and the damaged who have already suffered so much? Dead. It leaves them dead, sooner or later. I swallow and blink back tears as Bo and I make our way through the withered stalks that are all that's left of our sunflowers. Soon, the remains will be plowed under, and the bone meal and sheep dung added to the soil, and the next autumn's flowers planted in the enriched dirt. Sunflowers are feathers, Father said. They'll suck the life from the land if you're not careful. I'll suck the life from the city if I leave it. Innocent children will die. Needle will die. But if I stay, it never ends. It never ends, and all of our lives are paid for with blood and hate and fear, and the desert people will die, and I will die, and I will never see Jem again. I can't leave. I can't stay. I don't know what to do. I don't know what's right. I've never felt so ripped apart inside. Don't cry, Bo mumbles beneath his breath. Please. I swipe the back of my hand across my eyes, hissing as salty tears sting into the cuts at my wrist. I didn't even realize I was crying, but I am, weeping as if my heart is broken, which it is, broken in two, one half here in Yuan, with the city I was raised to serve, one half with Jem as he, I hope, runs into the desert to save his people. Everything is happening so fast. I need more time. It won't be a miserable life for you when we're married. I won't be cruel, Bo says, motioning aside the soldiers guarding the door of the tower. The two men standing gaping for a long moment without moving, before the first one and then the other scrambles out of the way. Bo and I are climbing the stairs by the time I realize why the guards were so surprised. They have no idea how I got out, let alone came to be covered in my own blood. Get out. I can still get out. There's time between now and when I'll be forced to marry Bo tomorrow. I'll let Needle bandage me up and do some serious thinking. I'll tell her everything that's happened and see what she believes I should do. Needle is more practical and selfless than I'll ever be. She'll have advice. Good advice. Needle, bring the medicine kit, I call at the top of the stairs. And water, please, with 2 cups. Poor Needle. She's going to be beside herself when she sees what's happened to the skin she's fussed over all these years. I wipe at my face again, trying hard to pull myself together. I'm so busy worrying about the look on Needle's face when she sees me that it takes me longer than it should to realize she didn't come when I called. Needle? I call again. A strange cawing sound comes from the music room in response. I pull away from Bo and race down the hall as fast as my aching legs will carry me. I fling myself through the doorway at the same moment Needle flies through in the opposite direction. I cry out as we collide, but when my hands find her shoulders, I don't let her go. Her face is streaked with tears, and one cheek bears an ugly red handprint. Who did this to you? Who's here? I demand, searching the room behind her. At first, I see nothing, then movement on the balcony. 3 pairs of wide shoulders shifting, 6 big hands lifting, 2 hand trowels busy spreading sluggish gray mortar between the heavy red bricks. They're building a wall to take away the world. I tried to stop them, Needle signs beneath my hands. I tried. I'm sorry, Bo says from behind me. They shouldn't have struck her. What is this? I ask, unable to turn to look at him, unable to glance away from the wall already rising as high as my thighs. It's to keep you safe. I wanted to make sure the beast couldn't enter your rooms, he says. And Father was worried. I didn't tell him about last night, but after what happened today, and with your mother. No, I whisper, breath coming faster, feeling more trapped than I have in my entire life. It's been years since I was truly a captive in the tower, and I've never had so many reasons to gain my freedom. It's not forever, Bo says. Once we're married, and you start feeling better. No, 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 no. I'll never feel better. I'll never feel the wind in my hair again. I'll never race through the damp fields in bare feet. I'll never sneak away to the King's Gate or the desert beyond. Even if Jem sets a fire burning in the gathering stones, I'll never see it. I'll never see Jem again. I'll never leave this tower. Not until the day they lead me to the garden to die. My knees give way and I crumple to the floor. But I don't cry out. I don't sob or scream. There's no point in it. Bo is here, by my side. 3 strong men occupy my balcony, and guards with spears and sleeping darts wait at the bottom of the stairs. There's no way out. There is nowhere to run. It is over. Everything is over. I am over. The world goes soft around the edges, my mind softer. I don't remember rising from the floor. I don't remember Needle tending my wounds, or mixing a sleeping draught, or tucking me into bed, though she must have, because when I come back to myself hours later, I'm bandaged, and the bitter taste of valerian root is strong in my mouth. I don't remember throwing off my sheets, or dragging the chair in the corner across the room. I don't remember ordering Needle to help me lift it on top of my bed, or threatening her with dismissal if she refused to assist me. I don't even remember climbing on top to stand on top of the tower furniture and nearly falling in the process. Later, when Needle asks me how I knew the diary was there, I tell her it must have come to me in a dream. But the first thing I recall, between my falling to the ground at Bo's feet and the slender volume dropping into my hand, is reaching for the beam above my bed, fingers prickling as I release the secret latch I was certain I'd find on one side. I tell Needle it must have been an ancestor dream, like Jem said. My father was always proud that we could trace our ancestry all the way back to King Sado and his 3rd queen. I don't know what he'd feel if he were alive to read our ancestors' words now. It takes more time for Needle to read and sign each word than it would if I could read the diary myself, but it still doesn't take long to learn that the volume belonged to that very queen, or that everything I've been raised to believe is a lie.